What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Our free pick sweep finally came to an end last night. Last night's free picks did not do well, unfortunately. NFL was good to VIP, but not as good on the YouTube video. So hopefully it doesn't go that way today. Hopefully we have a good day across the board. We had the Dolphins taking on the Steelers tonight in Pittsburgh. This game is going to be cold. I don't love this game. I'm just going to say we do have a pretty decent NBA slate. Taking a look at these games, you can see we have a pretty big slate looking at. So we'll go over some sportsbook plays. We'll also go over some player props on this. We'll lock in a couple of slips lives, and your boy's head is itching. Excuse me. But we'll go over some live slips, lock them in live, and get all that going. Before we do anything, I do want to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. So if you're new to the channel, I do this in every single video. I pick a random comment in each video if we get 250 likes to win a free month of our VIP, which is $25. So if you're interested in that, drop a like on this video, leave a comment, and I will randomly select a person from this video tomorrow if this video gets 250 likes. So before we do that, I do want to show you guys yesterday's bet tracker. Despite the free pick sucking, yesterday's bet tracker actually was the biggest green day of the month. And this is sports books only. This does not include player props. With player props, I'm up way more this month. But this is just from sports books on Thunderpick and on Bovada because I don't have a way to track them because I can't connect them to most platforms. So, $900 day yesterday. I'm going to show you guys the bets that I placed. All right, so yesterday starts right here. All of these sales are from yesterday. I had Lakers money line, $250, one unit. It cashed me out. Texans plus the Hawks in a parlay, $250 unit, cashed us out. I took Lions money line for half a unit. It missed. Chargers money line for half a unit. It cashed. That was a nice plus 200 play. Saints money line for plus 150. That one cashed me out. Took the Colts money line. I put $50 on it, which is a fifth of a unit. It was plus 700. If it would have cashed, I would have 7x my money. Unfortunately, the Seahawks were able to pull out that last second field goal and win the game. So that was very, very close. We should have had this one. I had a Houston and a Jacksonville teaser. I put $700 on this slip just because Ace did, and I was matching him. So almost a 3-unit play, profited $500. And then I put $250 on the Cowboys on the teaser. Unfortunately, the Cowboys got beat because they did not look very good last night. So that being said, yesterday ended up being a $900 profit, mainly because we had a massive Jacksonville teaser, and we hit a bunch of these underdog plays. And I'm going to show you guys what I locked in for the Discord. I'm going to show you right here. You can see yesterday I said we have a massive slate, a lot of underdogs that I'm wanting to take a chance on. I said play light on these and listen to the unit sizing. Unit sizing matters a lot on these. Favorite slips. Lakers with 1 unit was my favorite slip, and then the Texans with the Hawks parlay for 1 unit was my favorite slip. This is when we get to the underdogs. I said put 0.25, so a quarter unit to a half unit on the Lions, max. Quarter unit to a half unit on the Chargers, max. Same for the Saints, and then put a fifth of a unit on the Colts, max. These are some underdogs that have a decent shot at winning. Lions, Chargers, and Saints, they're all underdogs, but they're just as good as their opponent. Getting them at plus 200 is too good of a value not to risk. Guys, when you're doing this, take it from somebody who's been doing this for a long time. Any team can beat any team on any given day. I'm telling you, it's professional sports. That can happen at any given time. When you can get plus 200 odds on some of these teams, sometimes you take a half or a quarter unit and you just risk it, and that's going to be the better play. I was kind of thinking the Chiefs would win last night. I put money on the Chargers just because they were plus 200 because the value was there, and it helped me out a lot. So you guys can see that's 5 straight days of green. We have been killing it, plus $3,700 on Thunderpick/Bovada for me this month. So some of our wins from yesterday, 3 Prizepicks slips with cash. We had a good day overall. Parlay play wasn't good yesterday, but here's all those slips that I locked in for you guys. We had Chargers, Saints, Hawks with Texans, Lakers. I took Jacksonville and Houston on a teaser, $700 to win $500. Then we had 1 parlay play slip. I hit 1 of 3 parlay play slips, so wasn't the best on parlay play. Prizepicks was great yesterday. Sports books were great yesterday, and it made up for everything. This is why I say tell every slip. But anyways, let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. Winner from yesterday's video is going to be for our man Jordan Lee J. So Jordan Lee, send me a message on Discord, my man or woman, and I will get you added for that free month of VIP. I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. If you guys do want to join our Discord, there is a free link to join the Discord in the description. If you want to get every single slip that I played, everybody in our Discord that are following the plays are up big this month. If you guys do want to be a part of that, only $10 a week, only $25 a month. It's less than $1 a day for original pricing, and you can get 20% off using code NBA. It's a no-brainer. If you're not in there, you're definitely missing out. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. The community itself is worth more than this. So if you want to be a part of that, it is down in the description. We'd love to have you guys in here. But that being said, guys, let's talk about this first game on the slate, which is going to be NFL. Dolphins versus Steelers. Pittsburgh is minus 163 favorites at home, a 3.5-point spread. This is actually 3 just a minute ago, so it has changed. 42.5 total. Public betting, majority of the money is on the Steelers. 65% on Steelers money line, and then 83% on the Steelers minus 3.5. Now, sorry about that. But this line was 3, like I said. The money on the Steelers, I don't think is going to continue to come in at minus 3.5. I think 3 was the max for the push, minus 2.5 maybe in a lot of that money. So I could see this kind of going in Miami's direction a bit. We'll kind of pay attention to it. But I can see the spread going towards the Miami direction at 3.5. We'll see if it changes. But some books probably offer 3, but right now it's looking like it's 3.5 most places. So do pay attention to where that money goes. Looking at Miami, they've won 5 of their last 6 games. They've looked pretty decent. Haven't beat very many good teams. They did beat the Bills 30-13. They waxed the Bills at home. But other than that, not really very many strong teams here. Jets suck. Saints aren't very good. Washington's not very good. I mean, so it's kind of hard to give them credit for some of these wins, but Miami's looking better. They're looking better. I'm not gonna hate on everybody's team because the Cowboys freaking suck too. So I can't say nothing. But Miami's looking better. They have a chance to win this game for sure. This game is not just Steelers all day for me personally. If you look at the Steelers in the last few games, they've only won 3 of their last 6. So they did beat the Ravens, coming off a loss versus Buffalo. Lost to the Bears. They beat the Bengals, lost to the Chargers, and they beat the Colts. So they've had some good wins in here. Being Ravens and Colts. Bengals, I guess, that's not a very strong win, honestly. They got some good losses, too. Losing to the Chargers, not a big deal. Losing to the Bears, who I'll give the Bears credit. They waxed the Browns yesterday, so losing to the Bears, not a big loss. It's not like it's a weak team. And then Buffalo, 26-7. Buffalo, obviously, hit or miss depending on the game. So looking at this stats here, guys, I'm on Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins. One main reason for that is this is a 20-degree game, night game. So it's supposed to be 20 degrees at night, not supposed to be any rain or anything like that, so no bad weather, but it's cold, man. You got a Miami team they want that Florida sun, and they're coming up to Pittsburgh playing in 20-degree weather. Not going to be fun for them. Probably not going to be fun for the Steelers either, let's be honest. That's a cold game, man. Or it's cold to me. It might not be cold for you Pittsburghians, but for me, that's freaking cold. And it's going to be – it's a game that I don't really like a lot of props on. I'm going to be honest. So I know they got the UNC status plays that you can get on Prizepicks. If you want to play Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure he cashes that UNC line at 175, but it's still cold, man. I'm looking more towards running backs in this game personally. But regardless, I'm going to run with the Steelers at minus 163. I don't like the spread on this game. Miami definitely has a chance to win. If you want to take Miami for plus money, you can, but I just think the Steelers have the advantage here, and I think the Steelers are the better team in general, so I'm going to run with the Steelers in this one. Looking at the NBA slate, we got a big slate. Haven't dove super in detail on a lot of these games. I found a couple of props that I liked. I made a list of some props to give you guys. But in terms of looking at money lines, I have not dove deep into this. I'm just going to pick the winners because I am running on a little bit of a time frame this morning. I have to be gone somewhere. So we'll make this a little bit quicker in terms of the breakdown for NBA. I'm not going to sit here for 20-25 minutes ranting. So first game we have is the Pistons versus the Celtics. It's obviously in Boston. Neither team is coming off of a back-to-back game. They haven't played in 3 days for the Pistons. Pistons are the better team to me. Celtics at home have been pretty dang good this season. They've been very, very hard to beat. The Pistons still the better team in my opinion. Pistons for plus money. There's no major injuries, right? Let me take a look. Yeah, there's no major injuries here. For me, Pistons for plus money, there's no way I can't take them. I can't. It doesn't matter who they're playing against, unless it's OKC. You can't not take the Pistons at plus money, in my opinion. I don't care if they're on the road. So it's going to be Pistons for me. Even though the Celtics have a good chance of winning this game at home, Boston's hard to beat. Give me Detroit. Next game's Raptors versus Heat in Miami. Miami minus 200. The Raptors are plus 200 if you look at these two teams. RJ Barrett is still out. Miami missing not really anybody other than Rozier, who's we already talked about in jail. So not really much new to talk about for Rozier. But, yeah. Anyways, Miami looking okay. I say looking okay. They're coming off 4 losses. Just got beat by Orlando, got beat by the Kings, got beat by Orlando again, got beat by the Mavericks. This isn't a team that's looked super strong. Raptors, same situation, man. They've lost 4 straight. Got beat by the Knicks, got beat by the Celtics, got beat by the Hornets. Blown out by the Hornets, by the way. Then they got beat by the Lakers. I think this game could go either way. Miami at home, I like them at home, but for plus 200, potentially could take the Raptors. Give me Miami to win this game. I'm not super big on the Raptors in this one. So next game's gonna be the Jazz taking on the Mavericks. You have Utah plus 114 at home, Mavericks minus 117 on the road. If you look at these two teams, the Mavericks are looking strong. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and they beat good teams. They beat the Rockets, they beat Miami, they beat Denver, they beat the Clippers in Denver, in LA. I was going to say in Houston, but it's not in Houston. They beat the Nets just now a couple of days ago, 119 to 111. So this Mavericks teams look good. AD's questionable. Here's the thing. This game is dependent on AD, in my opinion. If AD plays, I like the Mavericks here. If AD sits, I like the Jazz. If you want to get the Nurkic is sitting too for rest. Yeah, well, I have to wait on this one. I'm not going to pick anything. I like the Mavericks here if AD plays. If not, the Jazz potentially win here. Plus money at home. It's hard not to take them as well. But I'm going to have to wait on this one. I'm not going to place a bet on this one until I find out what's going on with these injuries. Next game going to be Rockets versus Nuggets. A good game, guys. Denver minus 104 at home. Pretty much even odds. You can bet either one of these teams. Majority of the money right now is on Denver. 77% of the money on Denver at home. Look at the lineup here. Not a whole lot we have to look at in terms of injuries. Denver is still missing Brown and Aaron Gordon. This is where the tables turn, in my opinion. If you look at the Nuggets, they've won 5 of their last 6 games. They lost to the Mavericks. For Houston, they have won, what is this? 6 of their last 8 games. They lost to the Mavericks as well. So the Mavericks are looking strong, but they also lost to the Jazz. So that Jazz loss is pretty weak. There has been some games where KD has obviously been missing, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly which games KD was sitting at, but man, this one's a tough one, guys. Houston plus 104. Hard not to take them at plus money, but that's obviously if you're line shopping across different books. Most books probably going to have this even odds across the board. This one could go either way. Trust your gut. I'm kind of leaning on Houston on this one just because let me see what last game they played to. That doesn't matter. So they played on the 11th. Nuggets played on the 11th. Both teams have 4 days rest, so they should be good to go. Not like they've had a lot of traveling in the last few days or anything. So I can see the Rockets here. It's kind of who I'm leaning on with Aaron Gordon and Brown out fully healthy at home. I'd probably lean the Nuggets, but they are missing a couple of key players there, in my personal opinion. So probably going to run the Rockets for plus money, but that is a very, very unconfident call. Last game on the slates, Grizzlies versus Clippers. Give me the Clippers. I'm not fond of this Grizzlies team. I'm going to be honest with you. As long as Kawhi Leonard's playing, actually, Harden's questionable. Wait for Harden. As long as Harden plays, I like them better, so I'm going to have to wait on this one as well. Without Harden, this game gets a little more sweaty, but minus 140 right now is not bad value on the Clippers, in my opinion, at home versus the Grizzlies. So let's get everything swapped over. We're going to talk about player props. We're going to lock in a couple slips live. The first one I want to do is going to be NFL. I told you guys I don't like this NFL slate at all. This one-game slate is not a good game in my opinion, and I'm not playing heavy on this one. I'll probably pick a winner, play some money on the Steelers, maybe a Steelers teaser, or maybe even a Miami teaser if I find value I like. But I'll prefer NBA tonight over this NFL game. So first pick that I like is going to be for our man Warren. I do like our man Jalen Warren. I like him to give us 45 plus, up to 45 rushing yards. His original line's 50. I like buying it down a little bit. I don't mind 50. Or 51.5, whatever you want to take. But I do like the 39.5 paired with the other play that I have a little bit better. And you'll see why here in a minute. But I like Jalen Warren here. Rushing yards, Warren. You can get him at 44.5 on Prizepicks. You want, you can get him at 39.5. I like this 39.5 line. It's even on parlay play. So let's pull this up. It's going to be a 1.3x. It's going to be a goblin. Obviously, this is not going to be a good payout. But when you pair it with the next play that I take, it ends up being a good payout. So Jaylen Warren, 39.5 rushing yards. He's cashed 8 of 12 games this season. He's averaging right at 13.3 rush attempts. Going against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. Miami has struggled to stop the run this season. They're giving up almost 106 rushing yards per game. Now, this Steelers offense prefers the passing game. They do have a couple of decent running backs they can lean on. They got Gainwell. You got Warren. I kind of feel in some rushing, maybe a rushing attack going on tonight. I do think obviously they're going to throw the ball. I think Aaron Rodgers has a decent game, but I do think leaning on the run in this one's going to be where a lot of the success is going to be. So I'm looking at Warren. He's averaging 54 rushing yards per game on the season. Last 2 games he's missed with 10 and 8 rush attempts. I'm expecting more of the 13 to 14 rush attempts today from our man Will Warren, or Jaylen Warren, and I do think that he cashes this out. So that's going to be pick number 1. That's who I'm running with. Who am I going to pair Warren with? Now, both sides of the ball, I'm thinking the running game is where it's coming from. Miami has a lot of success with our man A-Chain. I like A-Chain. Rushing receiving yards, you can get at 90. That's as high as I want to go. I don't want to take anything over 100, especially in cold weather games like this, especially on a Monday night. So not going to see me play very many yards from A-Chain most likely. I do like him to give us a TD. Now, this one's more risky. It's a regular payout. Rushing receiving touchdown from our man A-Chain. He's had a touchdown in 9 of 13 games on the season. If you look at Pittsburgh, they give up 2.5 touchdowns per game and 0.5 to running backs. They don't give up very many TDs to running backs. A-Chain is a guy who gets a decent amount of red zone targets. Tied for second in the most red zone targets on his team, right behind Jalen Waddle. Looking at rush attempts in the red zone, number 1 rush attempt in the red zone, 54% of the rush share in the red zone. So if they get up there, there's a good chance that A-Chain at least gets some carries as long as they can move the ball. If Miami gets to the point to where they can't score, it's a field goal game, and A-Chain just doesn't get any opportunities in the red zone, we're just going to chalk. So that's the risk here. You got to hope that Miami can score. I do think this game is I'm not going to say high scoring. You can see the prediction on this game is 42.5. But I do think both teams score a couple of TDs apiece. So I am thinking that you could take PATs here as well if you wanted to run the PATs. Both PATs are 1.5. I don't think that's bad. You could run this for a 3x. So this is a 3x play here. It's not a bad play, and I'm probably going to end up running something similar to this. But that's not what I was going to give. I do like it with A-Chain, rushing, receiving TDs if you want to run that one as well, which ends up giving us a 2.25x. You can play in a parlay play as well. Same payout. So whichever one you prefer, you can lock in. So we'll lock it in on parlay play. $250 wins us $557. We got Jaylen Warren with Devon A-Chain over a touchdown. So lock it in. That is going to be the first slip of the day. I don't love this slip in terms of I'm super confident or anything. I don't like rushing or touchdown plays in general, but A-Chain I think is going to cash us out. So I'm running it tonight if you guys want to take it. If you don't want to, you're more than welcome to fade it. You can play Waddle with those 2 PATs if you want, if you like that better. I don't dislike this either, and it is a 3x, so you could play that as well. But anyways, let's get everything swapped to NBA. I got 2 picks for NBA. We're going to jump over, and we're going to lock in another live slip for you guys. So the first NBA pick that I have is going to be for our man Bam. Bam is boosted on parlay play. I do want to say, guys, if you sign up for any partnered app down in the description, you can get a free month of VIP for each one that you sign up for. The one I'm pushing a lot right now is Parlay Play. Code Fantasy Aces on Parlay Play. You do get a deposit match. You get a $5 free play, and you get a month of our VIP. You can do that with any app: Sleeper, Underdog, Chalkboard, Parlay Play, Better, Novig, or Dabble. Any of those 7 apps, up to 7 full months for free. Bam is boosted right now on Parlay Play. There are a lot of boosts on Parlay Play, as you guys can see, a lot of promos. Bam at 24.5 points and rebounds. I like this play. Playing versus the Raptors, it's supposed to be a pretty decently fast-paced game. If you pull up Bam at 24.5 PRA, he has hit this almost every game this season. Now, you do have to understand they have been missing a lot of players this season as well. Hero has not played in very many games. But if you look at Bam, 84% hit rate, 16 of 19 games, averaging 28 points and rebounds on the season. So, looked very good. Hit rate's been good. Head-to-head's been good versus Toronto. He's cashed it 3 of his last 4 and in 3 straight games. The only one he missed was back last year in last November, and he missed by 1. So, he's putting putting up enough points. He can drop 20 points in the game. He really can. He can also give us 10 boards in a game, 15 boards in some of these. So it's not a very bad play. He could cash this with almost rebounds alone. Can cash it with points alone. Like, we got a good chance here for our man Bam to go over unless he just has a very, very bad game. And I don't think he does in this game tonight versus Toronto because they're playing at home. If you look at Toronto versus centers, they don't give up many stats. If you come over here to Prop Madness and you pull up Bam, he does not have a very good shot chart. The shot chart is very, very ugly. We do have some nice productivity under the rim. I guess that's the good way. That's probably a terrible way to say that. Productivity under the rim. Anyways, shoots a lot of shots under the rim going against the bottom 10 defense. So he does have a decent matchup there is what I meant to say. But bad matchup in the paint, bad matchup mid-range, bad matchup at the three-point line. It is what it is. I like Bam here, 24.5. Lock him in if you like him. Fade him if you don't. This is going to be a parlay play slip only. So, that being said, who am I pairing Bam with? I'm pairing him with our man Brandon Ingram. Ingram has been a player who has been a wagon for me. Scotty Barnes chalked me too hard last game. It wasn't even close. I'm not trusting Scotty in this matchup. Now, this is a fast-paced game versus Miami. It's a good matchup for Brandon Ingram. 29.5 PRA is not that high. He's cashed it 65% of games on the season. He's averaging 31 PRA. They are missing RJ Barrett again. If you look at Miami's stats, 22nd, 29th, and 19th in terms of points, rebounds, and assists that they allow. If you go to this forward position, give up a decent amount of stats to the forward, give up a decent amount of stats to the guard, give up not very many to the center. So center is the worst matchup for Miami or versus Miami, but they are missing RJ Barrett again, as you guys can see. So we'll come over here to games without player, games without RJ Barrett. Our man Ingram has cashed it 7 of 9 games. He's averaged 32.5 PRA in those games, and he's looked really, really good. No head-to-head data versus Miami without RJ. No head-to-head data versus Miami in general. So Ingram, I'm locking in here at 29.5. If you like it, you can play it. If you don't, you can fade it. But that's what I've got for today, guys. So let's lock this in live. 29.5. This does give you a 1.8x. The payout's not very high on this slip, but I really like this slip. It's one of my favorite slips on the slate. So going to be locking in that little game stack. And there you guys can see we have both of these locked in. We have Bam with Ingram. Then we have Jaylen Warren with A-Chain over 0.5 rush and receiving touchdowns. So lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. Join the Discord if you're not in here already. Come get these plays. We've been cashing out. Come cash out with us. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.